Yes, hi, good morning. It's Dr. Bob Flower with the Master Pattern Report from Monday, May 7th. Okay, we all survived May Day, um, I think, and that was some very interesting dialogue over the past week regarding May Day issues, in particular the Occupy Wall Street movement, and we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. Last week, these markets are really horrendous. I've got more brokers calling me and pulling their hair out. This sideways movements, but I think we're about to see some action here. None of it good. We're still looking for a potential run up here today and tomorrow, with a hard down after that. And unfortunately, that might include our commodities as well. You've already seen oil break down here, and silver is breaking down. And I've got a chart which we're going to put up on our website. We're going to put up a couple of charts of silver, and you're going to see our up-to-date approach to the master pattern, and I'll explain this on the website. But basically, let me just explain this to you about the master pattern. There are four key mathematical algorithms that most scientists use for analyzing reality. Okay, two of them are very, very popular in trading. One is the phi, which is 1.618, known as the Fibonacci. That's again was very big with that. And the second is pi, 3.14159. Okay. The third, which is not that well known by many, but we use it rather extensively, is called the natural number, and it's 2.718281642, and so on. And it's actually, that number is actually a culmination of factorial 7 reversion. This is in my latest book as to the discovery of the master pattern, and we use these in our charting. And you will see when you look on the website, you will see the different areas, and I'm going to indicate it in red as to where each of those three numbers are utilized in the latest silver chart. Now, what this latest silver chart is showing us is that we're at $29.09. We pretty much hit a Fibonacci base. The next breakdown from there is going to be down around the $22, $23 level. Okay, but we're not going there yet, and I hope. But we are bouncing off a bottom of a very hard resistance. We have 45-degree angles working here, which are also very strong and showing us again that $29 level as being potentially penetrated. We do not have any other 45-degree angles until we're down around that $22 level. So what's concerning me is that if silver breaks down here, it may well break down big time. So let's just hope that we have a what we call a major move coming up Thursday this week. So let's just see how this plays out Be very careful here. I wouldn't be involved in a trade unless you're doing some sort of stagger option trade here. Very very close in so that your premiums are very low, and if you get a big move, um, the one premium will fall to nothing, and the other premium will excel to a level that will generate a return big enough to be worthwhile. Otherwise, I wouldn't touch it at this point in time. Uh, and again, oil and gold, it looks like the same thing here. So let's recap this, and we're going to be talking about this a lot because I know that a lot of you have asked me about the program and how it works and whatnot. And let's go through the three numbers once again. The phi number, which is 1.618, which is a Fibonacci number, big use by most technical traders. The pi, now when pi is again the circle, and we use that, but we don't use a single pi. We use what we call a double pi because we think that number is not accurate according to the master pattern. That number should actually be double, not 3.1415. That should be 6.28, 3878, and that's what we use. The third one, the natural number, we use that. That's like 2 times 3, 6, 4 times 6, 24, 5 times 24, right? And we use reversions on that, and we use that for timing and for 45-degree angles. Okay, and I'm going to try and show you that so that it's making sense. Okay, suffice it to say that this market's in trouble, and I don't know. First off, I don't think that the Fed is going to step in here with another TARP number, talking about some big savings here. I don't think that's going to happen, and if it does, it's not going to happen for a long time. Okay, that's the warning signal about the market going through the roof, through the floor. Okay, so it doesn't appear, unless there's a total disaster, that we're going to have much government interference, especially from the Fed or the Treasury here. The banks are starting to sell off their product, and there's a tremendous reluctance at all levels for people not to spend and to be very careful about what they're investing in and what they're buying. Okay, so that's usually deflationary. Okay, let's talk a little bit about this Wall Street, Occupy Wall Street movement. And we've heard a lot of different arguments, one way and another way. And when I listen to these kids, it reminds me when I was younger and when my kids were growing up. The idealism and the miscast notions that we had of reality and politics and what freedom meant, and how much hostility there is towards capitalism and freedom, and that stems from the fact that people do not understand economics. They don't understand business. They don't understand work. There was one young fellow that was on, supposedly an organizer for the Occupy Wall Street, on one of the shows, and I think it was Sean Hannity, and Hannity was admonishing him for not getting a job, and he said, well, the government should get me a job. And of course, the laws of potential say that you don't depend on anybody but yourself to get anything done in this world. Okay, and further, what's really bothersome to a lot of seniors, experienced people, successful people about this mentality is that not only is somebody else going to do it for them, but that it has to be in a particular framework. In other words, they're not just going to go out and get a job that's going to pay them, let's say, $1,500 a week or $1,250 a week or $1,000 a week. That's not, no, it's not good. It's got to be a particular type of job. So if a junior here at 28, 29 years old doesn't have a job, and somebody offers him, says, look, I got a relative at City Hall and they're hiring garbage men at $1,250 a week, and you get time off, and all you can eat or whatever. Listen, that's beneath me. Well, when mom and dad are taking care of you, or your wife is out busting her ass and working for you, that's easy to say. But you take what comes your way. That's the biggest fault that these people have. They think that the world is that there's an abundance of everything out there, and all you have to do is go out and cherry pick. No, it doesn't work like that. This is ridiculous. And for those who are out there breaking their ass and waiting on tables and babysitting or whatever they're doing to make ends meet, this is the essence of what America is about. This is how a lot of people started. I mean, I personally started with nothing, and I've done all those things. I've eaten candy bars because I couldn't afford dinners, for Christ's sake, or breakfasts. So what you have to do is you can't give up, and you have to look to accept whatever is possible, and just put the ego aside, because the ego is one of the deterrents to potential, and it's something that requires that we take into account here. Okay. So in any event, this whole notion of there's something better out there than capitalism, or the American business system, is totally erroneous. I'd like to hear what the ideas are. Is it socialism? Well, okay, you take a look at what's going on in Greece and Italy and Spain and now France, and how Europe is falling apart over there. Even now Germany is in trouble because they can't pull it all together with trying to help these countries. I'm sorry. So I mean, it's beyond me. I mean, if there is something better, let me know, because I'm there. I'm with you. I'll be one of the first ones to join in. I want to know what it is, but don't tell me it's taking it from somebody else. Because first of all, if you go try and take from me, you're not going to get it. I've insulated myself against that, and everybody that I consult for, I've shown them how to do that too. It's something that you're going to have to go out and get yourself. You're not going to get it. You're not going to get it from hardworking people. That's what the Tea Party was all about. Taxed enough already, folks. And whether you agree with them or not, it's a matter of understanding what the system is, not what some Marxist college professor who's supposed to be an economist tells you it is. People are starting to get younger people are starting to realize the reality of life by seeing that there aren't jobs available. Certainly not in their chosen fields. Okay, so once again, I'd like to hear from those people and what it is that they think we could switch to what sort of a system is going to work, and give me some ideas as to past history as to where it has worked. Watch out for silver this Thursday. I think Tuesday, next Tuesday is the 9th. I'm sorry, the 9th is a major day with the market also. Something that we called a couple of months ago, off two of the highs and lows of the S&P. So let's see how this plays out, and let's just be patient and watch it. This may be a great buying opportunity, and it may be something that that may change the course of the whole economy. Okay? Have a good week, folks. See you next week.